BTS News. What really happened between Jimin and Jungkook behind the military barracks? When two figures who were known to be so close suddenly became the subject of conversation due to the interaction behind the military barracks, the army reacted immediately. Jimin and Jungkook, two BTS members who have gone through various moments together, are now undergoing military service. However, what goes on behind the scenes of military training turns out to hold a deeper story than the public ever imagined. In recent weeks, a number of rumors and unofficial reports have begun circulating about the emotional interaction between Jimin and Jungkook. A source in the military revealed that the two were seen in a very private moment, away from the cameras and the public. It all started with the news that Jimin, who was in a different unit, had applied for permission to visit the unit where Jungkook served. Although cross-unit visits are not common, Jimin's permit application was approved. Army was confused because in the previous live broadcast, Jimin did not mention the plan. However, a military staffer confirmed that the visit was personal and thoughtful. Jimin came quietly. He didn't want the public to know, and the meeting was quick. But his emotions felt deep, said one source. Another source said that when he saw Jimin, Jungkook was silent and stared for a long time before finally approaching his friend and figure who was considered home in the midst of the rigors of military life. She really wanted to cry, but hold back. Until finally they sat on a bench in the back of the dormitory and talked for almost an hour, he said. Neither of them realized that the surveillance cameras had caught a glimpse of the moment of togetherness. From the internally leaked camera shots, it appears Jungkook wiped his face. Is it dust or tears? What Jimin and Jungkook were talking about is still a mystery. However, after the meeting, many staff were aware of the change in attitude of the two. Jungkook, who was previously known to be serious, looks lighter. Some mention that he became more focused, calmer. Meanwhile, Jimin, when he returned to his barracks, chose to be alone for one night. One unit member said Jimin said, "I just need time to process everything he said. We dare not ask any further." A few days after the meeting, Jimin had appeared on the live broadcast with his trademark smile. However, fans keenly caught the moment when she suddenly fell silent while talking about a song she once sang with Jungkook. There are some things that can only be felt, not told, Jimin said at the time, and ARMY immediately got goosebumps. Not a few fans admitted to crying after realizing that Jimin and Jungkook's relationship went beyond just being groupmates. Not because of romance, but because of an emotional bond born of mutual struggle, a sense of loss, and unshakable trust. In the midst of the world, they stand by each other. That's what makes us moved, wrote an ARMY on Twitter. Although there is no official statement yet, many believe that after the military, the two will perform together with renewed energy and maturity. Their relationship, which had previously been close, now seems to have been tested and strengthened in a space that only the two of them knew, and maybe, someday, they will tell you everything. What makes the meeting between Jimin and Jungkook so touching is not just because of the location in the cold and deserted military barracks, but also because of the truly emotional atmosphere. When Jimin suddenly appeared in his official uniform, Jungkook, who was standing on the sidelines of the training field, was transfixed for a few seconds, as if in disbelief. The internal surveillance footage did not reveal any details. But a military personnel leaked that Jungkook approached Jimin at a fast pace, like someone who had been holding back his feelings for a long time. For a very short time, they stood quite close, speaking without a loud voice, but their facial expressions showed tension, longing, and tears that could not be hidden. One of the senior coaches who watched from a distance said, "I've never seen Jungkook so messed up emotionally." When Jimin touched her arm, she lowered her head and covered her face with her hand. At the same time, Jimin was seen saying something that was later confirmed as a sentence that touched Jungkook's heart. "I came not just to meet you, but to tell you that I'm staying here, for you." After the meeting, Jungkook's change of attitude became a byword at headquarters. Previously, he was known as a disciplined figure, but was very calm and kept his distance. But now he's become more open to his colleagues. One of the soldiers even mentioned that Jungkook started sharing snacks sent by fans or his family to fellow training mates. He started laughing. Just kidding. But stay focused on the task. As if a huge weight had been lifted from him. When asked about the change by a senior, Jungkook simply replied briefly, "Sometimes we need someone to remind us that we are not alone." The sentence seemed to confirm that Jimin's arrival was not just an ordinary visit, but an important moment of recovery for both of them. Shortly after news broke that Jimin and Jungkook had met in the military, the global army community reacted. Many fans viewed the meeting as a deeper form of connection than just friendship or group mates. Theory after theory sprang up. There are those who believe that the two have hung their hearts on each other for a long time, but can only express it in a limited moment like this. Some fans also believe that Jimin is waiting for this moment to convey something that cannot be said in front of the camera or in a live broadcast. In fact, in one of Jimin's live broadcasts before his visit, he had mentioned, "Sometimes we have to wait for the right moment to talk. But when that moment comes, don't hesitate." Many soldiers now connect the phrase with their meetings in the barracks. After the news of Jimin and Jungkook's meeting circulated, many fans returned to listening to old BTS songs, especially Jimin and Jungkook's solo works. Songs like Still With You, Promise, My You, and Letter became the main target of the army to find hidden meanings. Some fans in the international community found that in the lyrics section of Still With You, Jungkook portrays someone who comes in a dream. Someone he waits for, even though time goes on. The lyrics now feel deeper and more painful after they find out how Jimin and Jungkook's meeting at the military barracks is full of long-buried longing. Jimin's Promise has offensive lyrics about not abandoning someone and not wanting that person to hurt themselves again. Many are now speculating that the song is actually a reflection of Jimin's guilt and expectations of Jungkook. In a previous interview, Jimin had said, "I keep a lot of things in my heart that I can't always say to anyone, except to someone who can hear it even though I don't have a voice." Now that sentence is seen as a profound code of his relationship with Jungkook. Interestingly, since rumors and talk about the meeting went viral, Big Hit Music has not issued an official statement. There is no confirmation, but also no refutation. This silence fuels new speculation. In many cases, the agency will respond immediately to a potentially major issue if it deems it detrimental. This silence was considered by some in the army as a form of protection for Jimin and Jungkook's privacy. They've given so much to the public, maybe it's time we let them have something that belongs to both of them. Wrote one fan on Weverse with more than 10,000 likes. After the meeting, a few weeks later, Jungkook was seen performing at a military event, and many noted that his smile was more sincere, his body more relaxed, and his eyes more lively. His colleagues said that after Jimin arrived, Jungkook seemed to regain his former spirit. While Jimin, in a promotional interview for BTS's limited-run documentary, delivered one short but touching sentence, "Sometimes when we meet someone in an unexpected place, we realize that he is our home." The sentence instantly made the atmosphere quiet, and the MC did not continue with further questions. All know, the sentence is intended for someone who can only be understood by people who know the story behind it. What really happened behind the military barracks between Jimin and Jungkook? Maybe we'll never know the whole truth. But the moment clearly shows that their relationship has crossed the usual boundaries as colleagues or groupmates. It is a bond built over the years through joy, sorrow, crying, laughter, and loss. For some, it may be just a casual meeting. But for Jungkook, Jimin's arrival in the midst of his loneliness in the harsh military barracks is a hope that comes in human form. And for Jimin, seeing Jungkook still standing, still holding on, still looking at him with the same eyes as before, it was a power he couldn't find anywhere else.